At theraces.com, Cheltenham Preview, sponsored by Ladbrokes.com.
Now, thanks for logging on. Now, from a jockey's point of view, probably the most exciting race to ride in is indeed the Arkle Trophy. They go absolutely lickety-split, and it is a real race for the brave. Andrew Thornton has ridden the race on a number of occasions. We're getting his views in a few moments' time. But let's get all the stats with Matt Chapman.
Thanks very much, Luke. Yeah, let's check out how you might be able to find the winner with these statistics. Here we go. I was expecting just to see, well, if it's owned by David Johnson, you're likely to win. But, of course, I'm afraid his leading hope, Acambo, not there. Oh, David, I'm gutted. Another ante-post slipped down the drain. French-bred horses have won 7 of the last 13 runnings of this race. No surprises there, of course. As I say, a lot of those DJ horses were French imports, and he won it umpteens times in the last 10 years. 7 of the last 8 winners were rated 142 plus over hurdles. So, basically, the talent was already there. Only Azertiup has made all the running to win since 1980. Quite a difficult stat there. You've got to try and work out who's going to lead as well as try and find the winner. But basically, it's hard to make all the running. Moscow Flower is the only Irish train winner in the last 10 years. And, of course, he was in a league of his own, one of the top-rated horses of all time, Moscow Flower. So the Irish haven't done very well of late. Those are the stats. Here are some of the leading contenders. Well, on the Irish stats, you can rule out Clopf straight away. Can't win, it's Irish. Tyne again. Rule that out. Can't win, it's Irish. So let's concentrate on the British runners. Lesling Taylor for John Quinn, of course, took a notable scalp last time. Mahogany Blaze, he's tough, and certainly Paddy Brennan likes that horse. Moon Over Miami is a bit like Luke and Andy. Quirky and sometimes talented. Noland, Paul Nicholls, well, he's already a Cheltenham Festival winner, Noland, but he has to come back from injury and show he's still as good as he was. He's got form in the book, though, over the big ones now. And Ring the Boss is an interesting horse, done it over hurdles and going places over fences. So that's perhaps the leading contenders for the Arkle. Let's have a look at a fascinating form guide as well. We'll have a look at some of those Irish runners. For all, of course, you Irish viewers, you know you can't win the Arkle. We'll have a look at Tyne again, though, just for you. We'll also check out Mahogany Blaze, the horse I was talking about that Paddy likes a lot. But let's start with the ante-post favourite. He was oh so talented as a hurdler, and we saw in the stats the hurdle rating crucial, and he's already proved himself over fences. This is Noland.
Leader by 6 lengths to Palinamix. Here's the final fence for Noland. Over safely. Job done. On the run-in, Noland has jumped really well. Passes his first examination. It's probably only a mock exam. It is Noland out clear of Palinamix in second, and Noland is the winner. It's a welcome return.
Mahogany Blaze digs in, open wide, and Wee Robbie. Mahogany Blaze over the last, won't give up the lead without a fight. Open wide, and Wee Robbie. Mahogany Blaze digging in. Wee Robbie's got to within a neck. Mahogany Blaze sees the prize slipping away. One final effort. Wee Robbie and Mahogany Blaze, and Wee Robbie stole the prize off the mantelpiece at Mahogany Blaze.
Going on clear of Javol and Casey Jones, and over the last, Tyne again is clear. Casey Jones is now challenging Javol as they race up towards the finish. Tyne again and Davy Russell out clear now, has gone right away from Casey Jones. Javol is stopped virtually back to nothing, is a remote third as they run up to the finish. Tyne again wins it by going away 12 lengths at the finish. And Clough is over in the lead and has taken the measure of the long-time leader Quetreurs as they run uphill towards the finish. It's Clough the leader from Quetreurs in second. Back in third is Bowleyborn Quickstar. Clough is beginning to tie up. Quetreurs is coming back and Clough is looking for the line. It better come quick. Quetreurs is challenging, but Clough.
Ruby Walsh, Lesling Taylor trying to close the leader down. Dougie Costello in second. They head towards the last. Tidal Bay's got it wrong again. A second serious error. Ruby Walsh again a fine recovery, but it's given Lesling Taylor a real chance on the outside. Lesling Taylor coming to challenge Tidal Bay. Lesling Taylor has gone on by a neck as they race towards the line from Tidal Bay. Lesling Taylor from Tidal Bay. Lesling Taylor.
Well, a lot of people will be thinking that Noland, possibly their banker of the meeting, had 2 starts over fences, and as we saw at Folkestone, he jumped really nicely first time.
Yep, did absolutely nothing
And
wrong.
second time, in fairness.
2 good runs,
Yeah.
2 good prep races. Obviously in small fields, which different kettle of fish though, running in the Arkle, the half a gear quicker. But you can't knock him. Paul Nicholls has done a great job in bringing him back. Obviously the owner, John Hales, isn't that big a fan of the Arkle.
No,
Obviously
so
he's had a...
Despite Azerty winning for him.
That's right, but I think he's more thinking of the horse than anything else. He's not sure whether after sustaining the injury at Cheltenham.
What are his weaker areas, Noland? I mean, looking at him, his jumping to me is outstanding. That is, one strong. I'm not so sure he's got enough pace.
He didn't hang around at Sandown, mind, last time out. They were going some gallop down the back.
Well, that horse of Brendan Powell's, Psychomotor, that fell at the second, I think he'd have nearly beat him.
I disagree. No, I think Noland was only just getting him at it. Would I do that? I honestly think he was just getting going. But 3 to 1, I just don't know. He seems a very short price. I think he's.
Is it only his price putting you off?
Probably is, actually, but I think it's the fact that it's a case of you've got to add the Paul Nicholls factor into that. That's why he's 3 to 1 and Ruby Walsh.
Yeah, okay. Well, one of my, I think, best bets in the meeting is going to be a horse called Mahogany Blaze, trained by Nigel Twiston Davis. At Ascot, when we saw him, I think Paddy Brennan would hold his hands up and say he went too fast on him, because he did. Well, I hope he would. And then since then, he ran at Newbin against a bit of race. He couldn't win, but I thought ran well. Yeah,
it was tough, consistent type, relentless galloper. I don't think he's got a turn of pace, but I think he just got a very, very high cruising speed. And like you said, at Ascot, Paddy did hold his hands up, and himself and Maradima. He took Maradima on. If he hadn't taken Maradima on, he'd have won.
Yeah.
No question about it.
He's a brave man's ride, mind, that Mahogany Blaze. He goes some lick, doesn't he?
He doesn't hang around. But that's what you want, a horse who travels in this kind of race. I'm sure there's no question there will be lots and lots of pace on. And I think you'll find that on a horse like Mahogany Blaze, you pop out, like you do in the Arkle, on any horse, you have to pop out the gate to get a position early. And he probably won't be quick enough earlier on. I think you'll find him sitting in a little, getting a lead till the top of the hill, and then from 4 out, then you can make the best of your own way home.
A lot of bubbles burst when Tidal Bay was beaten at Doncaster. His jumping just fell to pieces. Ruby Walsh on board. Leslie Taylor beat him that day. What about Tidal Bay? Well, we don't actually know whether he's going to go 2 or 3, but I don't know. Again, Yard, worried about the form of the Yard.
No doubt the form of the Yard. If he jumped, he'd have won up at Doncaster. But he just has a habit of just coming up at the wrong time, coming up too early and barely getting there. So, again, he obviously has the class. The good thing, he has form around Cheltenham. We've talked about it plenty of times today, and he's a very good horse. But as you say, that his best trip, if there was a 2.5 mile race at Cheltenham, he'd be going for that.
But there's too many ifs and buts, isn't there? The trip, we're worried about his jumping, we're all worried about the form of the Yard. What about Leslie Taylor then? Everyone seems to have ignored him. Will he beat Tidal Bay?
One thing he does do, he travels in a race. He's not exuberant. He gets the job done. Tough. That's one thing you can say about this horse. John Quinn's horse, he is so tough. He doesn't know when to lie down. I think you'll find he'll be there at the finish.
Another horse that's been really well backed in recent days is Philip Hobbs' horse, Ring the Boss. Now, what do we know about him? He sort of just burst onto the scene now, and they've always thought a bit of this horse and hoped that he would be a better chaser, which arguably he is going to be. Very
lightly raced over fences, hasn't had a lot of experience, but again, he's the sort of horse that you know that he's been well schooled at home. And it wouldn't worry you. You've seen horses go into this race before in the past. Well, Chief had one run at Taunton over fences, and people were thinking, and I remember Well Chief that day walking through the last at Taunton, and people were thinking, how is he going to get round Cheltenham?
Yeah.
But Cheltenham fences, don't get me wrong, they're stiff fences, but they aren't as stiff as they were in your day.
What about the chances of Moon over? We always say that ex-jockeys. Moon over Miami, Charlie Mann's horse. I think he's moody.
I just think that he isn't a quick jumper. I think if this race was round Newbury, a level track where the fences come at regular intervals, he gets into a rhythm. He's a real rhythm horse. That's why he gets beat. That's why he got beaten out of sight at Warwick when there was excuses and they said he wasn't right when he came back. Fences come too quick. To me, I'm not sure whether he'll even take part in this race. I just think everything will happen too quick for him.
Okay. One over the fences, but what I tell you, I've got one for you, a big price one here, and it came from no less a man than Tony McCoy. He told me about Charlie Edgerton's mare, Kruger Over. He thinks will run a massive race, and you know, at big prices. This we're talking 25s, 33s, you know, big price horse.
I think you'll find that she will make the running, and as Matt Stapp showed us before, there's only one horse since 1980 made the running. She will get the mare's allowance, which is always a big plus. Hardy, tough, resilient. She does it from the front. Highly rated hurdler. Big price, big each way price. I'm not sure whether she's quite good enough to win, but she's tough.
With Matt Chapman saying the Irish horses have got absolutely no chance, it really wants to make one of them win, doesn't it? What about Klopf? Well,
again, another horse, a highly rated hurdler who maybe hasn't quite scaled the heights so far over the fences.
So the yard wasn't
exactly
in form, and you know.
He could be the horse, but the yard has come back into form, which is what you want. You'd rather have the yard been out of form at Christmas and back in form in the spring. So, like I say, it's the Irish's best chance for a long time.
Okay, and we're looking down, just looking down some of these other horses that are in the race. Maradim, that we mentioned, went very fast again. The Irish horse, Tyne again. So it's a wide open race. The question is, at the prices, do you want to take that short a price about Noland?
No, is the answer. I think I'd be looking at the likes of Kruger Over and...
do you like her then,
I do like her. You can't knock a winner. She's a winner.
Yeah.
She's not flamboyant, she's not extravagant. She gets over the fences A to B very quickly. Has a tendency to go left, which isn't a bad thing around Cheltenham.
No.
So... at the prices, you're talking Kruger Over, Leslie Taylor, and I would go with Kruger Over. Charlie Edgerton is very good at getting horses right for the big stage.
There you go, that's a biggie for you. Then Kruger Over, but I think Mahogany Blaze might better the meeting.
At theraces.com, Cheltenham Preview, sponsored by Ladbrokes.com.